I found out about Ahmaud Arbery's murder on Wednesday, that he was killed in cold blood, and I didn't know how to process that. I imagine many of us didn't know how to process that. Again, an unarmed black man was killed. And in this case, a young black man was jogging down the street, and two white men thought they had the right to hunt him down and kill him. Below, I have two links to two men who are sharing their grief, sharing their pain, sharing their vulnerability. And I invite you to listen. And as you feel their pain, make it your pain. As you feel their hearts, allow your heart to break. I'm asking you to listen until your whole physical being aches. I don't know if that's asking a lot or not, but I know we have to feel that it was our child, our family, and do something differently. I remember raging at home, and it would stay at home. I remember going for a jog, which I did this time too, to honor him. And I have learned since then that that's not enough for me. I hope something resonates with you when I'm talking, because I didn't know, I've mentioned so many times, my world was so narrow. And now it's expanded. I'm so fortunate because I get on here and I feel such a connection to my friends, my mentors, my teachers. And I know I'm going to keep growing. And one of the things I'm going to do is I'm getting on Zoom, and I'm going to learn how to do a Zoom call, and I'm going to learn about Instagram. I have the account, but I have no idea how to use it. I'm going to have a web page. I'm going to have a presence on Facebook. So I'm so grateful for that. After Ahmaud's death, a young black man, a friend of mine, texted me, and he said, "Thank you for honoring our young king upon losing his life." Our young king. Before that, he and I had spoken, and we were talking about how in school they teach you about slavery. But they don't teach us, and they didn't teach me back then. I didn't think about it. I knew it was like they kidnap people, communities, and they bring them over here. But I hadn't thought about the richness of their lives, their communities, their countries, their traditions, their language, their customs, ripped from them. I think of the young man that I shared about, that he went to his young daughter's kindergarten orientation. And one day, this was months ago, I wrote him like 3 a.m, "What do you want her white teacher to know?" And he wrote back very simply, "I want her to know that my child's black life matters." The clarity of that. Do you hear that? He's not saying my life doesn't matter. He just wants that teacher to know that his daughter's unique black life matters. All of our lives matter. I was sitting with him. I used to sit all the time talking about the injustice, how I could participate. And one day he just started saying, "They hate us. They hate us. They hate us." And all I could do was sit there in silence and hold a safe space for him. They hate us. As a white person, I will never know that feeling. I can't imagine how you go through your day. Another story is a young black man in another situation, also probably in his late 30s, and he was sharing that he has been perceived by so many people that he's a danger, that he's dangerous. He happened to be a tall man, and I could feel his presence, but most people are going to see that he's dangerous. If it was a white man who was tall, you'd go, "Wow, feel his presence?" A friend of mine shared a story from 1968, perhaps. He had just come back from Germany. He was serving our country. And he comes back to a small town outside of Columbus, Ohio. and his white friends say, let's go roller skating. And my friend says, they're not going to let me in. So he's like 21. They said, of course they're going to let you in. So he goes with them, and they get there, and they go to the ticket booth, and the white person at the counter says, it's a private party, and he can't come in. Of course, who the he is my black friend. And his white friends say, there is no private party, and we can go in. So they argued. At the end of the day, they were told they had to leave the premises. I asked him, he mentioned that it was a Friday night, and I said, what's the significance of that? He said, well, on Friday night, black people weren't allowed to skate. On Sunday night, they could. I don't understand any of that. He shared another story, still as a young man. He moved to Denver, Colorado, and he was walking home. And a police car pulled up next to him, and a white officer asked him, he said, what are you doing here? And he said, I'm walking to my home. And then the officer said, I want to see ID. And my friend said, why? Well, this white officer did not like the idea that this black man was questioning him. So he got out of the car and drew his gun. I can't imagine. I'm sharing these stories because it doesn't matter if it's 1968 or 2020. This happens every day. And I'm hoping as you listen to me and these stories, something resonates with you so we can do something differently. White privilege is alive and well. I didn't go looking for it. And I know every day so clearly now that my silence has allowed it to continue. I don't say that from guilt, from blame, just acknowledging. And I'm asking you, how can you do something different? How can you show up differently? I don't know what that looks like for you. I think about all the men and women, black and brown, and all the marginalized communities that over the centuries have been screaming at us in a clear voice, see us. We are you, see us, join us. I don't know why I didn't know to join, and I do know now, and I have no excuse. I don't even understand this. Like, how did I not know? But I'm so glad I'm here today talking to you. So all you first-timers like me, please join us because we're going to get together with everyone who's been doing this work. And with our collective wisdom, we're going to change the world. Thank you for participating. Thank you for sharing with others. Thank you for having courageous conversations. Be safe. Stay healthy. Until the next time, sending out so much love.